Hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
You were talking about builders. Can you like share an example where you actually managed to convince a builder like to build a space in a way like it also is like good for the wildlife and the tortoises? And ma'am, can you also share like how you secure funding and support for these projects and like which platforms you use for the wide distribution of the survey? So
That's a good question, very good question. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to talk to any builders, convince any builders. Not I talk to builders, but I haven't been able to convince builders. But I gave a lot of talks in Wipro and HPL, and they have nature clubs, especially Wipro has nature clubs, and they were able to convince their builders to keep space for wildlife. So they have like a butterfly garden within their campus. They have some areas where they're supposed to keep for birds and stuff like that. They plant plants which attracts butterflies, or fruit plants for birds. But developers, I want to do it. I want to do it. It's a challenge. Unfortunately, it's not easy. I even talk, I communicate with forest departments. I go and give them talks like this, just to convince them that it is, don't sell your land to developers. But again, because the pressure is coming from top and the corruption is so high that there is no easy way out for this.
thank you.
And your second question about securing funds, for urban ecology in this country, it's really hard to get money. My fundings are mostly from small funding agencies. Other problem I faced when I was doing my PhD, I had tons of money. I got lots and lots of grants. I mean, every single grant I wrote, I got the money. But nowadays, IUCN doesn't consider it as a IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. They don't consider this animal as an endangered species. So therefore, funding, especially funding for lorises in urban areas, have become extremely difficult. So I work with small funds. Not easy way.
And ma'am, like how do you initiate and like convince
Convince people or
convince people to like get the funding and like what platforms to use for the survey so that it reaches to a large number of people?
for funding or for awareness, outreach?
Funding as well as the outreach.
So funding, I have been writing. The only other place that I need to write right now is National Geographic. But other than that, all those places that fund for conservation research have not been funding these days for Loris project. There are small, specific primate conservation grants and conservation grants. Not in this country. These are all from US and UK. They do fund. Lot of the small zoos, they have funding, so I do get funding from those. Right now I don't have any funding, and that's why the project is sort of gone into hiatus a little bit. I need to get more funding. The other thing is that also do crowdfunding. So people are doing quite a crowdfunding, so ecological research crowdfunding. But it's not as easy as doing it for, if there is any crisis in people. I need to use that. I have got some money through crowdfunding, informal crowdfunding. I haven't done a formal crowdfunding. And again, people, those people who are working as core team members and stuff, they do have money. So people who are participating is that most of them are coming from IT background. So they have the money they can spare.
Thank you.